Mirroring in the sketch environment is very powerful. However, we should try to limit sketch mirroring to a second resort to mirroring features instead. The mirror command needs to know two things. Number one is what do you want to mirror, and number two, what do you want to mirror about or around? First off, take a look at what we have here. I have a simple little triangle here, and I have a couple different center lines here that I can use to mirror this shape around. The mirror command is pretty simple and straightforward. To use the tool, just go ahead and click on the Sketch tab and come up here to Mirror Entities. The first question it's asking you is, number one is, what do you want to mirror? So in this case here, I'm going to select this whole triangle, and then mirror about. If I choose this line here, notice it just places the item on the other side. Again, if I were to replace that with a different line, it would mirror it across that line. Or if I was to use this line here, it would mirror it down there. So depending on which line you want to mirror something over, it'll automatically place the item on the other side of that line. You can also use lines inside of the existing geometry. So I can mirror across this line or even that line. Make sure you're selecting the entire entity though to be able to mirror things over. So keep in mind a couple different ways you can use the mirror tool, and it's quite powerful. So again, cancel that. To get started, we'll select the entities we want to select, choose Mirror Entities, mirror about a certain line, and then click OK. It'll automatically place it there. And the cool thing about mirror is if you move something over here, it moves it over there. It's automatically dynamically mirrored when you have an object on this side. Any changes to the object here will reflect in the changes over here. I also want to point out there's another type of tool you can use. For instance, if we draw maybe we'll just draw a parallelogram, for instance, and we'll draw it right over here. And what we can do is we can turn on Dynamic Mirror. So under Tools, you can go down to Sketch Tools, and you can click on Dynamic Mirror. What happens is you can choose any line here, and then basically anything happening on this side will happen on this side over here. So if I were to design or draw out a new parallelogram, what would happen is I draw it here, and it automatically shows up over there. Same thing again, if I draw a circle, it automatically will draw a circle and put it on the other side of that line. So once you have Dynamic Mirror turned on, anything you draw on one side of the line will automatically show up on the other side of the line. It's a really handy tool. Like I said earlier, try to keep your sketches as simple as possible and use feature mirrors as your first choice and only use sketch mirrors as a secondary choice. Both will save you a lot of time and make your design much more robust.